Today we're going to be chopping up all of our pumpkins and throwing them into our animals. The pumpkins are extremely frozen. It is the first day of December and they've been outside for a cold snap. Like the last, I don't know, 4 days or so. I've been out of town for a while and now it is time to just get this done. I'm going to be saving seeds from some of the pumpkins to replant next year. And then we're also going to be saving seeds to deworm our pigs. I most likely won't have any footage of putting the seeds into the pigs because it'll happen tomorrow while I'm at work, but I will have footage of us feeding the pumpkins to all of our animals today. Oh, what are you doing, little guy? For some of them, I couldn't remember all of them. Yeah, my hands are already frozen. So we actually had to move the pumpkins into our house and we put them in a tote in the middle of our kitchen floor because they're way too frozen to deal with. These have been in the house for over 24 hours and they're still kind of frosty and frozen. We did have them all piled together in one big tote. It was too cold outside. They were way too frozen. We couldn't get the seeds out. My hands were freezing. So we decided to bring them in for the night and let them thaw. And now I have a bucket over here. And I'm gonna put the seeds in that. I'm just gonna take this little garden trowel and kind of scoop them out. And then this part is gonna go back in the tote. I'm gonna try to cut it smaller for the animals. This would have been a lot easier outside where I didn't have to worry about making a mess. But we waited too long and missed our window of opportunity to do it outside. So I was just at my cousin's house for Thanksgiving and she had a bunch of pumpkins in her house for decorations that she was going to get rid of. And so I asked her if I could bring them home. She said yes. This is one of those pumpkins. So this pumpkin hasn't been frozen. It was in her house. And I want to save some seeds from this pumpkin to grow next year or in the future. So I have this bag. I have it labeled with the pumpkin, like I don't know what kind of pumpkin it is, but just how I'm going to identify it. And for now, I'm just going to throw some of these seeds in a bag. And after I get done with all these pumpkins, I will show you the next step on how I save my pumpkin seeds. And these are for planting, not for eating. Outside, I would have been using the machete and the Sawzall to make this easier. So this is one of my black pumpkins that I grew this year. They're actually like a really dark green. If you let them stay on the vine, they'll turn like orange and green like this. This one I had pulled and put on my porch, and they still end up turning a little orange after you pull them off the vine, like after like a month or so after they sit. But I bought seeds on Amazon of this a couple of years ago. It's called either Black Night or Dark Night, I can't remember. And I grow these every year, and I save seeds from them every year. I just really like the way they look. I haven't like ate one or anything. I just think they look cool. So a lot of pumpkins are hybrids. So sometimes when you save pumpkin seeds, sometimes it doesn't turn out to that same pumpkin. It could be like a squash or something along those lines. I have had it happen before. It hasn't happened often, but I can't even remember what I planted. It was so long ago. What grew into like a kabocha squash, and those are pretty good. We ate them, so it wasn't even that upsetting that they didn't grow pumpkins. So this big pumpkin came from my cousin's house also. It's a really nice pumpkin. I really liked it. It's got a nice thick stem. I'm not sure the view on this and what you guys can see and you can't see, so hopefully you saw that. Hopefully I can cut this open. I don't know. It's pretty big. Definitely saving seeds from this pumpkin. Right when I saw it, I knew I had to have some of these seeds. I was expecting there to be a lot more seeds in this. It was pretty hollow, actually. So that's pretty much all of the pumpkin seeds from the pumpkins. I do have this amount pulled out over here that I gotta wash and dry. But there doesn't seem like that many seeds for the amount of pumpkins. So to do the pumpkin seeds, I'm just gonna dump them into a strainer. Kind of sticking in the bag, so that's why I'm doing that. And then I just rinse them off really well. Make sure they're not slimy. I have done it before where I haven't even washed them at all, and they still made pumpkins the next year. So next I have a plate, and it has the kind of pumpkin. This is the first pumpkin that I cut open. I'm going to just kind of spread them out. I don't want to just dump it on here because there's extra water and there's like pumpkin stuff in the bottom. So I'm just kind of picking the seeds off. And then I'm just going to set this somewhere in my house, probably in one of our spare bedrooms, and just put it up on a shelf and wait for it to dry. And then after that, I'll put it back in a plastic bag and label it with the type of pumpkin and the year. And then I'm just going to do that with all of the other pumpkin seeds. Here are all the pumpkins cut up and ready to be fed out to the pigs. I think I'm going to try to do it tomorrow after work. I have about 15 minutes from the time I get home until the time that it gets dark. So I'm going to see if I can show me feeding the pigs and the goats these. If not, just know that they enjoyed them. I bought this pumpkin from an Amish store for $5. It's really big. I just brought this in like right now. Still has snow on it. Hopefully within a few days it'll be thawed and I can save seeds from this and cut it up for the animals.